as one of the greatest yogis ever to walk the planet said, "Don't you know when one door closes, another will open?" Bob Marley has always given the truth in a way. It's the $10,000 question. What is the definition of yoga? I was just speaking with one of you a moment ago about yoga being applied in the daily life. And for me, yoga is about the realization of moving towards our deepest truth with every choice we make. I'm glad you asked this because I actually practice and I teach 3 fairly specific and defined styles of yoga. My personal practice that I love, that is near and dear to my heart, is vinyasa style yoga, and I call what I teach mindful spirited vinyasa because it includes the mindfulness of filling your body with consciousness so that those choices that we make come from other places than just our thinking minds. Spirited because although I do love the alignment of the bones and the way that the physical body works, when we practice yoga only for the physical body, we have lost our connection to the totality of the universe. And vinyasa because I love to move. So mindfulness, spirituality, and movement. Mindful, spirited vinyasa. This is my main teaching and practice. However, I'm also an acro yoga teacher, which I've been connected with the acro yoga community for about 3 or 4 years, and I've been a teacher now for 2 years. And what I find with acro yoga is a way to take my personal practice on my mat and in my heart and in my soul and connect it to another human being, which is what I believe is some of the root cause of most violence in the world today, is the loss of connection to other humans. So acro yoga to me brings this connection to other humans. And I also teach and practice as much as I can green yoga. And green yoga is our way of integrating with the planet, whether it's through meditation, through asanas, through mantras, or through walking down the street and picking up the trash, or doing public service, ways that we engage in protection of the planet, which is essentially protection of humanity, because the earth will survive, perhaps even much better, without humans. So the environmental and the green yoga movement is in fact on behalf of humanity rather than the planet herself. So I practice vinyasa yoga for personal connection, acro yoga for interpersonal connection, and green yoga for planetary connection. I have gone to teach classes to the Greenpeace volunteers, and they do great work. They are on, we say the front lines. You have an expression like this. Well, they're on the front lines of the environmental battle. And it is a battle when you look at what BP has done in the Gulf of Mexico, when you look at what corporations have done to distribute single-use plastics without creating solutions. I mean, it really is a battle. And when I went to go teach this class, these were people that care so much about the planet, and they were sitting over their computers like this, and they had dark circles under their eyes, and they were complaining about a sore back, and they have become so passionate in their plight that they forgot about themselves. And after the class, I took them outside and we did yoga in the grass and in this way to make the connection. It triggered something in them, and it made an important impact, because the people that are really doing the frontline work have lost the connection to themselves. And those that are only connected to themselves have lost the frontline connection. So we have to go both ways with it. And as yogis, when we add the sense of spirit to it when we realize that we are actually doing this because cutting down a tree is like cutting off our finger, that polluting the water is like drinking toxins into our body. When we take this very personal, we have the word in English visceral, which means we experience in our body. When we have this visceral connection, then everyday environmental activities become green yoga. I think there is a greater use of green yoga from the environmentalists who are living in a sustainable way than there are yogis who are living in an environmental way, because people are coming to yoga now for many different reasons: physical health, mental well-being, because their partner wants them to do this. Millions of people are coming to yoga and they're viewing it as a physical exercise or only as a one linear path. That green yoga allows the greater yoga community to take ourselves off the mat and have sustainable, daily, ecological lives with a purpose, because the purpose of life is a life of purpose. And when we can apply this kind of, I'm doing this because I am an extension of the planet, and the planet and I are very deeply one, then it becomes green yoga rather than just an environmentalist or just a yogi. I come from a business background, studying hotel and restaurant management and working in a hotel for a few years, working in computer software for 3.5 years, where I got to make some money and travel around the world. And then I realized, wow, this has really been a separation. I still spend a lot of time on my computer, but in a different way. Rather than building databases to count onions and money, I use it as a way to connect myself with other people. For example, like yogaservice.de. So this kind of transformation in my body, when I realized that I was holding on to stress and tension from the hotel job and from the computer job, the asanas let me soften a bit, and they continue to do so. I'm a pretty flexible guy, but I still have some tension in my hips and in my shoulders, and my asana practice has given me a very clear microscope to see where those tensions are and to explore. My mind is still fairly active. I think it's evolving through my hair at this point. And through my yoga practice, it's helping me to observe my mind a little more and not be always trapped by my thoughts. I have evolved poco a poco, a little bit in this way. My practices, which include asana and mantra meditation, I sing a lot of bhajan and kirtan. My ability to see divinity in all things has really emerged. There are still a lot of challenges when there's a little fight between me and my beloved or my family, or some conflict from something that's not happening the way that I expected it. Like, how can God do this to me? Then the moment that question comes into mind says, oh yeah, I'm practicing yoga and this is exactly as it is. So that realization has become part of my personal evolution.